Originally announced back in 2017, with nearly 18 years separating it from Metroid Prime 3, expectations were high, and for the most part, Retro Studios delivers an experience that understands exactly why fans fell in love with the Prime trilogy in the first place. This is unmistakably Metroid Prime, atmospheric, methodical, and quietly confident in its design. As the saying goes, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Set on the mysterious planet of Vuros, Prime 4 introduces a new narrative thread that expands the universe in meaningful ways. Samus becomes entangled with the Lemorn, an ancient race on the brink of extinction, whose psychic abilities play a key role in both the story and gameplay. The Federation also has a stronger presence this time around, with several side characters accompanying Samus remotely or in the field. These additions help ground the story, giving context to Samus's mission while still respecting her traditionally solitary role. Importantly, the game remains accessible to newcomers. Prior knowledge of the Prime trilogy enriches the experience, but it's never really required. Storytelling is delivered in classic Prime fashion, leaning heavily on environmental cues and scanning. There's a lot to uncover through logs, ancient terminals, and environmental details, and when it works, it's excellent. Piecing together the moral ambiguity of the Lemorn's choices, what a civilization might do to survive, adds unexpected depth. However, the reliance on scanning can occasionally become tiresome. Having to scan certain objects like doors or key mechanisms multiple times interrupts the flow and risks turning a compelling narrative tool into busy work. Gameplay remains a careful balance of exploration, puzzle solving, and combat. Samus's new psychic abilities are introduced gradually and used to manipulate objects, redirect shots, and access new areas. While these abilities don't permeate the entire map as deeply as some of the past upgrades, they are satisfying to use and integrate naturally into the progression. There is some backtracking as expected from a Metroid title, but once you fall into the rhythm, it feels organic rather than frustrating. One of the most divisive additions is the Viola bike. Initially, it feels like a risky inclusion, but in practice, the bike sections are far better than anticipated, I thought. They're used sparingly and thoughtfully, adding variety without overstaying their welcome. Retro wisely limits where the bike can be used, ensuring it complements rather than disrupts the core Metroid experience. If you think back to games like Arkham Knight, where the Batmobile was used for nearly everything from puzzles to gameplay, that is fortunately not the case here. You'll also be using Viola to mine for green energy crystals that litter the expanse of the Soul Valley overworld. Thankfully, because the bike handles so well, I found myself getting lost in just riding about, smashing as many green crystals as I could, in between riding between locations and finding Prime 4's version of the Breath of the Wild shrines for weapon upgrades. I do wish there were more of them, however. Combat remains intense and rewarding. Regular encounters can still catch you off guard, especially when enemies swarm or attack from multiple angles. Enemy variety could be stronger, particularly in the more open areas, but this is more than made up for by the boss battles, which are consistently excellent. These fights demand pattern recognition, precision, and smart use of Samus's abilities, standing shoulder to shoulder with the best bosses in the series. Exploration is made more approachable thanks to the expanded cast of side characters. Characters like Mackenzie provide guidance when you're lost, subtly nudging you in the right direction. There were some negative comments from reviewers and some gamers about Mackenzie's inclusion in the game. However, I found the character to be really helpful, and actually I ended up liking the characters, and I ended up liking most of the side characters in the game. While some veterans might find the hand-holding intrusive, it undeniably prevents the frustration of wandering aimlessly or repeatedly heading to the wrong location. For anyone who's played the old Metroid Prime games, you know how long you can get stuck on a certain area when the answer is looking you dead in the face, and it just becomes very frustrating. For new players especially, these hints are a lifesaver and make the game far more welcoming without entirely sacrificing discovery. Visually, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond is stunning. On Nintendo Switch 2, the game supports up to 4K resolution, 120 frames per second, and HDR. The results are spectacular. Whether you choose quality mode or performance mode, Vuros is brought to life with exceptional lighting, detailed environments, and smooth animation. Even in handheld mode, the game impresses. It's easily one of the best looking games on the system. Control options are equally robust, dual stick controls feel familiar and precise, motion aiming returns for those who prefer it, and Joy-Con 2 mouse controls offer an impressively accurate alternative. While the lock-on system can occasionally clash with faster enemies, overall control responsiveness is excellent and adaptable to different playstyles. The soundtrack also deserves special mention. The music perfectly captures the eerie isolation and alien beauty of Euros, heightening tension during exploration and swelling appropriately during boss encounters. It's classic Metroid in tone and execution, reinforcing the series' identity. Just listen to tracks like this. Ultimately, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond may not reinvent the formula, but it doesn't need to. It refines, expands, and modernizes what already worked, delivering an experience that feels both nostalgic and fresh. As a long-time fan of the Prime trilogy, being able to once again see the world through Samus's visor is deeply satisfying. While it has a few rough edges, particularly with scanning fatigue and occasional over-guidance, the highs far outweigh the lows. This is a triumphant return for Samus Aran and a worthy new chapter in the Metroid Prime legacy. If you've never played a Metroid Prime game before, I would definitely recommend this one and Metroid Prime Remastered. Go and try them out, they're great games and definitely deserve a place in your Switch's library. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond is out now on the Nintendo eShop, priced at $58.99 in the UK and $69.99 in the US. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed the review. Have you played Metroid Prime 4 and what do you think about it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that like button and until next time.